Hello guys, today we will talk about how to overcome lust and temptation. This is a big problem nowadays because as young people we have a lot of sexual energy and we are desperately trying for satisfy ourselves and to let go of this excess of energy. And in many cases, unfortunately, we do this through indulging ourselves in porn, in masturbation and sex, and first and foremost, thinking about sex, fantasizing about this. This is waste of energy, and we can invest this energy where we want, and do it consciously, not to fall into this trap of lust. Okay? So first way is to find healthy ways to invest our energy. Every day we have a lot of energy to invest. Not everybody realizes this, but even if you're old, you still have a lot of energy to invest. But in many cases, we invest this energy unconsciously in things that deplete us from this energy. For example, you wake up, you can go make workout, you can go connect with people, you can create something, and you will invest this energy and you will get back more, even more energy to do what you really want to do. But if you wake up or throughout the day, you will masturbate yourself 5 times, I'm exaggerating, 2 times, you're going to deplete your energy, you're going to be less confident, you're going to be much more anxious, and it's utterly pointless. Because our sexual energy should be invested in a proper way in order to get what we truly desire in our life. We can get a lot of energy from this. We should not indulge ourselves in this sexual activity every time we get sexual thought. This is temptation, and we should transform it, and we should do what needs to be done. We should create our schedule, what we need to do in order to keep ourselves busy, and by this we will invest our energy in a proper way. Of course, I'm not demonizing sex or from time to time masturbation, but we know that we do it too often and we think about sex definitely too much. If sex is in the body, it's totally okay, but if it's in our mind for a long time every day, we are not going to do anything. We are not letting ourselves to stay in this state of silence. And if we are thinking about this, we are creating much and much desire. And by creating this much and much desire and lust, we are being less happy if we cannot realize it, or if we will do it, but not go towards our dreams, but only focus on this. Okay. Second, practice discipline. We all sometimes have motivation, sometimes not, but discipline is something that we need to practice, and by this we can overcome our lust and temptation because we will do some things that needs to be done. And discipline is mainly about forcing ourselves to do what we consciously know that needs to be done when we don't feel like doing it. And by creating discipline in our life, it will have impact on all other aspects of our personality and life. We will become better beings, we will do more, and we will have much easier way to overcome lust and temptation and our weaknesses. You need to develop discipline, and by this you will achieve much more faster. Without discipline, we are going to do our chores, obligations if we feel like to, but with discipline we will do them because we know that it needs to be done, and later we will feel proud of ourselves that we were disciplined, because discipline is a great virtue and we need to develop it, and with this we can overcome a lot of our weaknesses. 3. Focus on present moment instead of dwelling on past and fantasizing. As I said, we spend a lot of time in our head. We fantasize about having sex with our crush, with this beautiful woman, or if you're a woman, you're fantasizing about having sex with this man. But it's pointless. What's the point of doing it? It stimulates our dopamine system, and it gives us some pleasure. We feel this kind of motivation to do this, to realize this, but we are wasting our energy. Just do this instead of fantasizing all the time. If you're dwelling on your past sexual experiences, on videos maybe that you see, or a person with whom you have sex, you're just wasting time and your energy thinking takes away from us our energy. If we cannot be in the present moment and we are going to dwell on the past or fantasize about future, about creating these visual images in our head, these scenes where we have sex, we are just increasing this temptation and we become more compulsive. We have less self-control and less control of our actions. And as you know, our actions create our life. So if you sit in a bus, stay grounded in the present moment. And if you have these dirty thoughts about sex in your head, just observe it. Don't try to quell it. Don't try to repulse it. But just observe it. But don't indulge yourself in this. Notice how this works. Because if you will every time indulge yourself in these thoughts, you will fantasize. You're getting into dream. It's not reality. And if you want to create life that you want, you should focus on reality, not only sitting in your head and fantasizing about sex. Because you need to be mature and you need to understand the mechanics of our sexual thoughts, that you can think about them all the time, because they are stimulating. So what's the point? Keep your head clear instead of fantasizing. 4. Recognize and acknowledge your triggers. We all have different fantasies, if you have self-control. For example, me, I have sexual thoughts very, very rarely, because I can control my thoughts, I keep my head clear, and I'm focused on my goals. But however, each of us has different experiences, has different preferences, and we have different things that trigger emotional arousal in us, sexual arousal. The key is to observe it and notice what causes us to have this sexual arousal. What characteristics in women, if you're a woman, what characteristics in men, what maybe items, because some items can also arouse sexual desire and temptation. Observe yourself, and by this you can raise your consciousness dramatically. Because if you have temptation and you can observe it, resist it by staying in the present moment, you're learning a lot about yourself, and it's going to be easier for you to overcome it later, and you will gain much satisfaction that you have control over your basic compulsions and instincts. 5. And of course respect it, because when you're trying to say and blame yourself that you're compulsive, you're addicted to this, don't blame yourself and acknowledge this with love, because each of us has our dark side, our maybe animal side, but animals are still lovely animals and conscious on some level, but our instincts we have, and we need to acknowledge them and understand that these triggers, these temptations are going to appear from time to time, and we need to basically get discipline to stay, observe them, and to let go. Because if we resist them, they're going to come back, and we will relapse by masturbating, by having sex, by overthinking about all of this, by daydreaming. 5. Talk about this with relatives. This is a pretty hard topic, because in most of cases this is not topic that we have confidence to talk about with our relatives, our friends, because we feel shame. How to talk about my problems with lust, with temptation, if it's ruining your life, you spend too much time on this. But if you will find a person that you can trust 100%, you should talk about this, because by talking about our problems to a person who will listen to it genuinely, we can help ourselves tremendously, and this person and you will create beautiful connection based on a trust, on love. If you show your problem genuinely, you will also let go of it, and it will be much easier for you to cope with this. And also, for the end of this video, as I said, please don't demonize sex or sexual thoughts, masturbation. It's bad if you're doing it compulsively. If you have your partner and you're having conscious sex, it's a beautiful thing. But if you're sitting on your sofa or whilst you're doing other things, your lustful thoughts cannot make you function normally, then that's the problem. You should not get addicted to it, and you should completely get sex out of your mind. Okay? Get out of your mind. Not in every... in this, as I said, this starts with, and fantasies will appear from time to time, but it should not be habitual. And when they are blocking us from taking action towards actually realizing these fantasies, you know, because this desire is growing, and if we let go of this from our head, it will be easier for us to actually manifest this sex that we want in real life. Okay, that's all for today's video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe my channel. Bye bye.